Hi and welcome. Today I want to talk about technique and the blues. I want to talk about both together because it's so important. Now, a lot of the blues videos on my channel are really popular and the technique videos are popular as well, but not as popular. And you know what? Technique isn't that exciting for many people, but when you fix your technique, it's so liberating because then you can play all the stuff that you really want to play. You know, if we take something really simple as like a template to talk about, and we'll do some bluesy stuff. Okay, we're going to do that. Simple little riff, and we're going to do some other little bits as well. But we're going to talk about it in the context of technique, okay? So it's a blues shuffle. All it is, open low E, then 2-4-2 on the A. Okay, and just repeat that. Open, low E, 2-4-2 on the A. Now, first of all, what I want you to do is basically ask yourself, when you're playing those notes, are you pressing really hard? Are you squeezing with the thumb? Are you clamping? Is your shoulder tense? Okay? Because if so, you might be able to play it so the notes sound good. But can you play it in a relaxed way? The reason why I say that is because if you can't stay relaxed when you play that, when you start learning more advanced stuff, like, more intricate stuff, when you start doing that, tension will start to creep in a little bit more and things get worse, and things get awkward and you build and build and build the tension, and before you know it, the notes are just... And it's like, where's the hell's the musicality going? It's like, okay, calm down. We can fix it, okay? That's what I had to tell myself a long time ago, and that's what I tell all my students as well. So relax, we can do it. First thing to do, take a nice big deep breath from the belly. Let your belly fill up with air and relax, okay? And then try and play the basic shuffle with minimum pressure, okay? So you're only pressing as hard as you need to. We'll just go one note at a time. First note is an open note, so forget that. We'll do the second fret of the A string. Now play that note, get really close to the fret, because most people will go back there. Now if you look really close at my finger, there's a bit of a gap there between the index finger and the fret, which means I've got to press a little bit harder. But if I go right to the fret, I barely need to press at all. I'll take all the pressure off. The note will sound dead. Good, that's what we want. And now I'll just add a little bit of pressure on. The note's clear. If I'm back here and I do that, I take that pressure off and I add a bit of pressure on, you're going to get a buzz. So you have to press harder. And you don't want to do that. It's just a negative thing. Why press harder than you need to? So get close to the fret. Experiment with pressing hard and pressing soft until you find the sweet spot. And you can do the same with the 4th fret note. And just relax. And you can even pluck a little bit softer for now. Because when you pluck softer, it helps that hand just have a softer touch as well. It's like the whole body works in one, you know what I mean? It's hard to pluck loud with this hand and fret soft with this hand. So just get in the habit of playing nice and gentle. And when it becomes a habit, you can start plucking louder again. So that's one simple little thing that you can do, okay? Now we'll look at some other, nitty-gritty advice. These are all taken from my book, The Guitar Doctor, by the way, which you can get for free if you go to fingerstyle101.com/free. The Guitar Doctor's got 35 really powerful tips, okay? Here's one of those other tips, okay? And it's don't hold up the weight of the neck of the guitar. What a lot of people do, they'll sit in a position where it's like this, and then if they let go of the guitar, it drops, like a stone to the bottom of the ocean, okay? So what you don't want to do, whichever way you sit, even if you sit like this, you don't want to have to hold the weight up with that hand, okay? You want to put the guitar in a position where it's stable. If you let go with that hand, okay, you don't really need much with this hand, okay? Now the guitar is not perfectly stable. That's why I often tell people to put a strap on, okay? Wear a strap, and then the guitar is stable, okay? It's as stable as it can be, and that's the ideal position. Now I don't like wearing a strap when I'm watching on the videos. I just think it looks a bit awkward, okay? Plus this is not my favourite strap in the world, but the idea is that you get in a position where you don't have to hold the weight up with the fretting hand, You can put a little bit of pressure on the body with this arm here, and the guitar is stable, okay? So it's really important, because if you're holding up the guitar with this hand, trying to not to let it move around. You're really restricting your hand, okay? And when you're moving around, the guitar's going to move. It's just a bad idea, okay? So try and get the guitar in a stable position where you don't really need the fretting hand to do that for you. Okay, and then the next little tip is very simple. Mirror on the wall. If you can play in front of a mirror at any point, it's really going to help you watch your hands. A lot of people have this habit where they'll try and lean over like this because they can't quite see what frets are on. They're looking for the marker dots at the front a lot of the time, okay? Or they're looking just for the fingers. But don't forget, you got the marker dots on the side. So you actually don't need to look at those, okay? All the way around there. What you can do is sit with a straight back, which is much better for your playing and your posture, and try and feel where things are, okay? But it can be very difficult at first. But if you watch yourself in front of, in a mirror, you can see where your hands are going. You can see what strings they're landed on. And it stops you from looking down there, and it gets you looking more out there, which is really, really beneficial. So I'd highly recommend playing in front of a mirror if you can. All right, tip number 19 from the Guitar Doctor ebook is the no thumb test, okay? Now you thumb with your fretting hand. What a lot of people do, they'll push really hard with it. And then this muscle here gets very tired very quick, okay? So what you want to try and do every now and then, I want to play like this for a moment, okay? Is just strum a chord with the thumb off, okay? It's quite difficult to do. Or just play a little phrase with the thumb off, if you can. Not easy to do at all. My thumb really wants to clamp on. But the idea is you could take your thumb off, and it proves that you don't really need the thumb to be able to play stuff. Yeah, I mean, sure, having the thumb on helps. It helps big time. It's kind of like, the equivalent of swimming in the ocean and, scuba diving and not having a oxygen tank on your back, but still trying to swim to the bottom of the ocean. The thumb is your oxygen tank in a lot of ways. It's really going to help, but you don't have to just rely purely on that. When you're swimming in the ocean, some people go snorkeling instead. They don't, use all the scuba stuff. Okay, enough of that analogy anyway. But the whole point is that you don't need to use the thumb purely and, with loads of pressure. Just a little bit goes a long way, okay? Kind of like oxygen in the air. All right, okay. You don't need loads and loads of oxygen, okay? You just need enough to be able to breathe, and that's what it's all about, Scuba divers will tell you that. All right, okay, so just add a little bit of pressure on with the thumb. Don't squeeze the life out of it. And by taking the thumb off every now and then, you'll just realise, the thumb's not doing that much really, or it shouldn't. All I've got to do is just put the thumb on the back of the neck, push gently, give the fingers something to push against, and that's it, okay? Any more than that's wasted energy, and it's just going to hold you back technically when you're playing stuff, like that, or whether it's more fancy blues licks. It's simple or complicated, it doesn't matter. Don't use the thumb too much. All right, the pinky first rule. This is a powerful tip from the book as well, and it's tip number 25. What a lot of people do, if they play a lick like the one I just played, which I've taught on this channel in a few videos, if they play that lick, they really struggle to play that 6th fret high E note. Why? Because they put their index finger on first, and then they'll put the ring finger on, and then the pinky, and it's kind of my pinky can't reach. It's like it's just not long enough. But the problem is they put the fingers on in the wrong order, and that means the hand is facing their face like this. So they haven't got ability to reach, If I put my index finger on, look where my pinky is. It's miles away from that 6th fret high E. But now, take my hand off, start again, but put my pinky on first. My hand is facing much more upright at the ceiling. And I can reach. And then when I put my index on, I can reach. It's like, it's a miracle. It's just all to do with the hand position. Simple little thing like that makes a difference. And if you fluff a note, doesn't matter. But it's all about the hand position. So that's a simple one that makes a big difference right away for a lot of people. All right, and tip number 30 from the book is about transforming the deadly spider exercise. Now, you've probably seen this exercise before. Yeah, it's a really fun one. I mean, I've never really been a massive fan of that for like enjoyment or anything like that, but from a technical point of view, purely technical, it's good exercise to do every now and then. But not practicing it like that if you're brand new, because what happens is if you're brand new to the guitar, this happens when people practice it like that. And it's like, what the hell am I doing? That doesn't sound like music. I mean, it barely sounds like music when you play like that. It's not the most enjoyable thing in the world to listen to. But, like I said, technically it can work really well. But the key thing is that you work on everything in pairs, okay? So don't try and do every note and every string to start with. choose a string. Choose the B string. That can be a good one for people to practice rather than the low E, because you've got to reach all the way around there. Okay, the B or the G, you know, can be the best one to start with. It depends on you, maybe the high E, but let's do the B and just work on the index and middle. And as you do it, just go back and forth, and then relax and breathe. And then do the middle to ring. And really get a sense of where the strong pairs of fingers are and the weak pairs of fingers. Ring to pinky. You know, you'll find that the index and middle will probably be quite simple. The middle and ring will be hard. Ring and pinky will probably be hard. So you realise, okay, when I do a big exercise like that, there's areas that are stronger and areas that are weaker. So if I'm going to practice the big exercise, I better get the weaker areas up to scratch rather than just, you know, work on everything in one go. Because when you work on everything in one go, it's hard to see what needs fixing and what needs improving. So isolating it like that can be really powerful. Right, so there you go. A bit of a technical lesson, but remember, there's loads of fun blues stuff on this channel, you know. Loads of good stuff like that. Stuff like that, okay? But apply the technical stuff from this lesson and your playing will be so much more enjoyable and so much more productive and better for the short term, medium term, long term as well. But go to fingerstyle101.com/free, get the Guitar Doctor ebook. There's another ebook there as well. Just going to teach you some really cool songs as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to learn some of the ideas that we talked about in this video as well, in terms of the blues licks and stuff like that and the riffs, check out this video here. And have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. Cheers, bye.